What's up, guys? Welcome back to another All Those Shifts video. I want to talk about some things today as we got some important updates on the car, the truck, and the racing we've been doing recently. As you guys can tell, or if you guys haven't seen, 2 videos ago or 3 videos ago, we won Spring Mayhem in the street car in the Outlaw Street class. Welcoming back the car back after the crash in October. So it was only about 6 months without the car, but we finally got it back up and running. Basically just replaced the parts that needed to be replaced, and it's back like it never left. Super excited, super basically just thankful for everyone that helped with the rebuild and got us back to this point. But moving along to this last weekend, we actually entered Little Gangsters 530 cap index racing. This class has become very popular over the last year and a half, 2 years, due to the competitiveness and the prize pool that's always offered for these races. Basically, it's competitive enough because I wouldn't say almost every street car, but a very well-built car is able to run 530, and you don't need big pockets to build a 530 car. It is a very attainable setup, which allows true racers to basically compete once against another in a faster form of bracket racing. And basically, when it comes to index racing, I said bracket racing. When it comes to index racing, it really comes down to your reaction time and the consistency of the car. So you got to be good on the light, and your car's got to perform very, very well round after round, with running as close as possible to 530, but not going faster. If you go faster, you lose. Part of the Little Gangsters rule set is that you don't actually get a time slip. So if you don't have a draggy, you don't know where you're running, and you basically just don't know if you won unless you turn on the win light. So it allows for some very, very close racing. You got to be smart about it. If you're ahead but the car is very close, you can let out, you can get on the brakes, make sure you don't brake, but you also got to make sure that you cross the stripe first. So a lot of mental games. You got to be aware of what's going on, focusing on your race, but at the same time knowing where your opponent is. So it's a lot of little things. If we want to continue doing this race, I feel like the car is perfectly set up for it. The only thing I would like to add is an air shifter for consistency reasons. I like shifting the car myself. Since I don't have a Holley ECU, one of the things that you can do on that aftermarket system is that it's only on when it shifts. So basically, the compressed air will let you shift manually, but it'll also shift itself if it hasn't been pulled before it hits that rev limiter, which I feel like is a neat feature. Unfortunately, I'm on stock ECU. I'm not sure if that's an option or not. I would have to reach out to Triangle Speed and Strike Motorsports to basically get an answer on that. But moving on to what we want to do with the car. So we've come to this point where we basically not maxed out its current setup. I feel like the car is capable of a 499.50, but we went ahead and ordered some new turbos, and then came the problem of, well, should we just make a custom turbo kit now that we just ordered new turbos? I can order some barn-built turbo front-facing headers. I can order the Turbo Smart wastegates and the blow-off valve, and V-band flange, the rest of the kit. So that is a possibility, and that is something that we are leaning to, since we already bought the most expensive part, which was the turbos themselves. I have an interested buyer in the turbo kit, which also expressed interest in the whole long block. So then that came the question of, should we go ahead and just buy a whole sleeve long block? Now, in my opinion, I do want to do MHS, modular head shop turbo extreme cams, better pack valve springs, do the manly valves inside the heads. I believe whenever they do the sleeve motors, they put I-beams in the rods and pistons, and of course the sleeve supports. And then comes that question, do we want a sleeve motor that can handle 1500 horsepower, or do we want to go ahead and do the mini hoops and the other stuff that makes it rated for 1800? So that is an option, and we really have to think about it. It might take me a little bit longer to get that long block if we decide to do the 1800 horsepower, but this would be the motor that we're going to be racing for the next 2 to 3 years. So I want to make the correct decision. Last thing I would hate to do is, after 1 race or 2 races out, we maximize the setup, and basically I'm just stuck with that and just going to be continuing to play within that ET range that the car sets after that point. I feel like the 1800 gives us room to grow. I can go with some ID 1700 injectors. We should be good with the fuel system we have in the car, and basically will allow us to just have more fun and be more competitive throughout the events. And if we want to turn it down to run the 530 little index, the little Gangsters, we can definitely do that as well. Other mods that are going to be coming for the car is the tubular front end, where I actually already have that. The tube front end from the strut tower forward, we're going to cut off basically not the frame, but like the shell of the car, and it lightens it up. You make custom brackets for the headlights, for the bumpers, for the radiator, the intercooler, and it should take off a pretty good, decent amount of weight. Other weight reduction mods that we're going to be doing is optic armor on the front and the rear. We're going to be shortening the axles on the rear end and doing a wishbone, relocating the shocks so we can go ahead and add these bad boys. They're 15 by 11 with 6-inch backspace, if I'm correct. It's Cobra Jet spec, and it's basically just going to sit super flush, look really nice, and it expands to 275, the Pro Bracket radial, to basically just perfection, where it gives you a little bit more contact surface than the regular 15 by 10. So that is the upcoming plans. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about in particular was just, should I wait a little bit longer, maybe stick with the setup a little bit more, do some more racing maybe till the end of the year, and then ordering that sleeve block here in the next couple months. And we also got to keep in mind, whenever we want to do this, is ordering the block with enough time to make that certain event that's coming up, whether it be Mod Nats, whether it be Spring Mayhem next year. These car things do take a long time. So we got to make sure we plan accordingly and have not a strict timeline, but a timeline where we got to start ordering stuff if we want to make certain races. Other big update on the garage is going to be the truck itself. Danny, you want to show the truck? It officially lost its garage privileges once the car came back, so it's sitting outside in the rain right now. And let's talk about the truck. No more Whipple, no more welds. We sold both. We sold the Whipple back in July, September, August, somewhere around there. And we got a really good offer on the Whipple itself. So we decided to pull it, and it's back on a stock tune, just any the way it comes from the factory. And then the wheels itself, I actually sold a couple weeks ago. I got a really strong offer on Facebook Marketplace for the wheels, and I had them up. And they sold. Long story, long explanation, but we ended up making money, and we have a new set of the same exact wheels on the way. Only thing that we haven't decided just yet is if we want to do the same measurements for the rear, which is a 20 by 10, or if we want to do a 17 by 10 bead block. So still debatable. Let me know which one do you guys would rather like to see on the truck, the 20 by 10 that we had previously, or if you guys want me to do a 17 by 10 polished S77 bead lock on the truck. I think it would look sick. And the reason we would even be going bead lock is because I'm really, really itching towards buying the twin turbo kit for the truck itself. Now, I would do the On 3. This is what we've been running on the car, and we've been fast enough with the 524. So it's a very respectable kit where the quality has gotten a lot better during the years. Fitment, still a question, but a good mechanic and a good shop will be able to make it work and do modifications where necessary to make the kit work. I would like to do a fuel system and injectors and a tune, of course, on the truck. Basically making it capable of running, as much as a stock motor can handle, but I don't really want to push it. I just want to have fun with the truck, keep it full interior, and make 600, 700 horsepower just to have a little bit of fun whenever we are on the road with it. So those are the plans that we have for the truck itself. Nothing too crazy, just slap on a twin turbo kit and a fuel system and just leave it the way it is. I would like to do a custom interior at one point. I did find a local guy that one of my friends recommended, so we might be visiting his shop here pretty soon to change out maybe the seats, and I do want to get the center console. Without the shifter in the middle though, I really do like that extra space whenever you do the console in the middle and you don't have the shifter. I think it looks cleaner when the shifter is down in the bottom, but honestly, I like the space. I'm on the road a lot, so that would be one of the things that I would like to do. And then a sound system. I do want to do a sound system in the truck, nothing too crazy, maybe just like 2 8s or 2 10s with the titty panel on the back, maybe glowing up Aldo Shifts logo or something like that, just to add some personalization to the truck. But that's pretty much it. The truck's gonna be on hold. I'm not gonna do those things for quite a while. It might be towards the end of next year, if anything, or who knows, maybe if I work hard enough and I get some more money, I could do it before the end of the year, but it's highly unlikely because all the money is going to be going towards the car. Kind of doing calculations out of pocket, long block, turbo kit, miscellaneous stuff for the rear end that we're doing. To front end, I'd say it's about $15,000 that we're about to spend in the car. It's a lot of money, and all I ask is if you guys continue to subscribe, like, comment. We're almost at 3,000 subs. My birthday's next week, so if you guys can get me there beforehand, I'd really appreciate it. But that's pretty much it for all those shifts. Let me know what you guys think about the plan, and if you guys have any suggestions, and we'll definitely consider them. Peace.